Good morning, it's Tuesday morning now, and the first thing I'm going to do is take some of the larger tasks in the Trello and break them down into smaller, more manageable tasks. So I'm going to get on that right now. Okay, I got most of the tasks in the Trello divided up. I'm going to start by doing implement the animations for the action being used. That way it actually looks like one of the demons is attacking the other one. So I'm going to get to that and then we'll see what else I can get done. Okay, well I got the basic animations for actions being used. This is done. It's gonna need a lot of refactoring and polish, but it's in. So I'll show you what that looks like now. I can select this unit here and attack this unit here, and it plays a basic animation. So like I said, this still needs a lot of polish. Doesn't look that great yet, but sometimes you've just gotta get something in and get it working. Well, I'm gonna call that good for today. I didn't get as much done as I would have liked, but sometimes that's how it goes. I'm going to try and do better tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Good morning, it's Wednesday, and even though I didn't get a lot done yesterday, I'm excited about today and what we're going to get done. Let's go over to the Trello and take a look at the first thing on the list. Okay, the first thing I want to focus on today is making it so a unit can only use an action on their turn if they're still active. So I'm going to need to implement an active state for the units and then finish up doing the turns. So I'm going to get right on that now. Okay, so I've implemented a simple active state for the units. If we run the game here, you can see I can select this unit here and then come over and attack this unit. And once it attacks, it gets darkened and I can no longer select that unit. And so there's a simple active state whether a unit has used an action or not. Once a unit has used an action, they're going to be deactivated. So now I'm going to work on the actual turn system, making sure that you can only select a unit when it is your turn. Digging into the turn system here a little bit, I've discovered that it's kind of all over the place. My turn manager doesn't have a super defined job. The battle manager as well doesn't have a super defined job. So I'm going to take a break, go outside, go for a little walk, and try and reevaluate these objects and the jobs that each of them are going to have and figure out exactly what I'm going to do after that. I went on my walk, and after I got back, I got a notebook and had some lunch and wrote down all of the different objects in the battle and what their jobs are and kind of defined them. And now I'm going to start implementing that into the game. Well, most of the different objects that I jobbed out on my walk now have their proper jobs and are doing the things they're supposed to be doing. The one exception being the battle unit. With the turn manager set up, you can now select. So currently I have it set up to where I can only select a player unit because it's on the player's turn right now. And I can select this demon right here, and then it gives me only the 2 enemy targets right here, and I can set this to where it'll either only allow you to select player targets or enemy targets or any target. And once I select this one, it will go over and attack it, and then it will no longer be active And you can see down here that it does a new turn. So it actually goes into the enemy turn. That's not exactly what I want it to do, because I actually want it to allow you to use the next unit right here. I'm going to need to write a function that will let me get the active units to select. I still need to implement that, but I'm pretty happy with how this turned out right here. Let's check that off on the Trello here real quick. We can see make it so a unit can only use an action on their turn. And if they're still active, this is mostly done. So I'm going to call it good and move that over there. I did a lot of refactoring today. I didn't get as much visible progress done as I would have liked, but I'm happy with the refactoring I did and the reorganization of my code. And I think I'm in a better place than I was before. And I'm making big decisions right now in the code, how I'm going to structure this. So I want to think through these at least a little bit, get something down, and then I'll continue to refactor that. So it's kind of a process. I think about how I'm going to do it, implement a solution, and then continue to refine that solution as I go along. So I'm happy, and I think I'm going to call it good for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Good morning, it's Thursday, and I spent the morning editing the footage from yesterday. Now I'm going to hop over to the Trello and pick some tasks. Let's hop over to our calendar. This is the weekly schedule. You can see I'm pretty far behind. However, a lot of these tasks that were due yesterday rely on these two tasks here. So that's what I'm going to work on today and make a new schedule, because this one clearly was too much for me. Let's take a look at what I have so far. Well, I'll just run this scene, and I've populated it with the actions from the help up daemon. I can navigate between these two, even though the UI doesn't look great. And then if I press space on one of them, it will actually print the name of the action that was selected down there. It also signals it out, but you can't see that. The next thing on the list is to take this and add it to the actual battles. So when you select a unit, it displays this action list. I think I got it working. So that was actually a little bit easier than I was expecting. And if we run the game, I can select a unit. It will populate a list here of actions that I can choose from. I can choose bite, and then it will allow me to select an enemy here, and I can select this one. And then you'll see down here it says that the player used bite. So here we go, add an action list, done. Allow a unit to select an action, done. So both of those were done. Happy with how that worked out. So now I've got to pick one of these to do. I think what we'll try and do now is allow the summoner to recall a demon into battle. First though, I'm going to take a quick break and go eat some lunch. And then when I get back, I'll get started on this task right here. You can now select the summoner, the player summoner, and recall a demon into battle. I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can select our summoner here, choose the recall demon action, and we summon this demon into battle. This is technically done. Next on the list is going to be allowing them to switch demons. On top of that, I'd also like to do some refactoring. I'm going to probably just focus on refactoring the code today and leave this for another day, and maybe refactor the Trello here as well. Action info is now working. I can run this here and get a description of the current action that I'm on and see that here updating in real time with the different actions. I also looked at the Trello, tried to reevaluate my goals. I think I'm going to try and get the basic battle system finished in 3 weeks. That's what we're looking at now. So that gives me another week to try and implement a lot of the features that I wasn't able to get done now. I'm going to call that good for today. I've got to edit the video here still, and I'm pretty happy with the things that I got done. So hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good morning, it's Friday, and I'm ready to get started on work. Last night, though, I had a realization that my schedule is not going to work how I have it planned, because next week I'm actually planning on doing the Godot Wild Jam, and I'm going to do a devlog for that. So next week my schedule is already planned out for the Godot Wild Jam. So I'm going to hop over to the Trello and adjust that and fix my schedule. The schedule should be looking good now. There are two main things I want to bring up. Number one, I decided to set a milestone to have a playable battle system by the end of this month that I can send out to some of the alpha testers. I felt like I needed some sort of a goal, and I think having the battle system completed and playable by the end of the month is a good goal to have. The next thing is I'm going to start today by working on refactoring the battle manager so that it accounts for multiple units. So I can use an action from a unit and then use an action from one of the other units that I have as well. So that's where I am with the calendar. I'm going to go get started on this task here, and I will see you all in a bit. Let's take a look at what I got done. So I refactored the battle manager so it accounts for multiple units. That was the main task. But I also refactored the unit selector so you can only select battle units that have unit data. Also made it so that you can only select active units, or you can choose to only select active units. So I got those done. Let's see what that looks like in game here. Okay, so you can see I can only select the summoner here. I can't select this unit here that obviously doesn't exist. I can recall a demon, and now the summoner is no longer active, so I can't select it, but I can still select this demon right here and use its action. There we go, and after the turn has ended, or after I've used the action, it also goes inactive, and then it goes to the next turn, it goes to the enemy turn. So I have all those things working. I think I'm going to take a little break from game dev, update the Demon Lock sign up page, and then we'll see where we get after that. I'm back from my break. I also had lunch, and now I'm going to work on getting Switch Demons out in battle to work. See if I can get that finished today as well. That would be great if I could get that done. If not, then I'll start editing the devlog and kind of move on. But let's start with that and see how that goes. Putting a quick pause on what I was working on because the theme for the Godot Wild Jam is going to be announced shortly. So I thought it'd be fun to include that in this devlog since this is something that I'm going to be working on next week. Here is their YouTube video with the premiere, and it should start here really soon to announce the theme. 2 minutes. I love how YouTube does that. I think I'll hide chat for the actual announcement and set it to theater mode. Let's see what we get here.
Hello everyone, welcome to the 2-year anniversary of the Godot Wild Jam. It has been a crazy ride since that first jam in 2018. Over the last 2 years, over 600 Wild Jam games have been made, and we now have hundreds of people joining the jam each and every month.
Dang, this is nice.
Would not be what it is without those people. So whether this is your first jam or you've been here since the very start, thank you for taking part. For the 24th Godot Wild Jam, the theme is family. There are lots of ways you can approach this when making your game. Maybe a mother is trying to find her lost children, or maybe you control 3 brothers all at once. A family doesn't have to mean a family of blood though. How you choose to interpret that word is up to you. Along with the theme, there are the wild cards, optional challenges for those looking for a bit of extra inspiration. For this jam, there are 4 wild cards: Pet the Dog, Secret Passage, Quip It Good, and Watchmaker. You have from now until the 23rd of August to submit your games. Good luck, and happy jamming.
Well, cool. That was well made. I wasn't expecting a fancy video like that, so I'm excited. Family. We'll have to think about this over the weekend and see what I can come up with. Well, now that that's over, probably better get back to work and see if I can get this last feature in. Well, I think I'm done for the day. The tasks were to allow demons to switch out in battle. I'll still have to do the devlog, but this is done, and I can show you when the game starts. We can choose our player here and recall a demon, and now we get a list of demons to choose from. This list is populated from this summoner's party, and so we can choose help up here, and now the help up can actually use bite, attack this. And then I made it so that the enemy's turn runs for half of a second till the enemy doesn't do anything yet, and then it switches back to our turn and activates our units again. So I could actually attack with this unit here, with this demon, and then I could recall and switch to a new demon here. Now there is a bug where it's still grayed out, even though this demon is now active. But it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the progress that I made. Honestly, considering how far behind I was at the start of this week, this is actually pretty great. I'm pretty happy with this progress. That's going to be it for this devlog. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to support Demon Lock, there will be a link in the description where you can sign up to be a part of the alpha, or you can check out my Godot course or my Patreon as well to help support me while I'm making these devlogs. Thank you so much for all the support, and I will talk to you all later.